you for f***ing real, mate? I'm like, seriously, this is what like gets you. You know, I did some terrible, idiotic stuff. I did massive fart once, to be honest, in an office in front of a load of people.
Nobody gets fired for a fart,
no,
do they?
well, it turns out
fired for flatulence.
A lot of it's me, and a lot of it's ideas that I come up with, and often taking a dump. In fact, I can remember one Monday waking up and thinking, "F*** this right off. I'm going to go and set fire to the shop, and it can go." We're sat in the hub of the Paria brand. You could call it like the Castle Grayskull of the cycling world. You can be the Skeletor, and I will be a Ramman or Fisto. So yeah, you are. This is our coffee shop, the Paria Cafe in North Leeds. So yeah, you're surrounded by cotton lycra on all things Paria.
I first came across you around, when would it have been? 2.5? No, longer.
It's longer than that.
I think it must have been. Was it pre-pandemic?
I think it was pre-pandemic, mate. I think it was pre-pandemic, yeah.
So that was however long ago that was.
6 years ago, 7 years ago?
6 years ago, yeah, 6 years ago.
We bonded.
Yeah, we bonded over printing some totes.
We did.
It was, wasn't it?
It was indeed.
Yeah, it was lovely. Take me back to the start of Paria. In fact, take me back to your journey, where it all begins. So as I understand it, you finished university, immediately sold your soul, and started working in the corporate world.
I did, yeah.
For big multinationals.
I did, yeah.
How did that feel?
How did it feel? At the time, it felt like it was the right thing I should be doing. However, I tell you, it was the right thing I thought I should be doing. It felt like I had sold my soul, though. It never quite felt right. There was pluses, money and experience, good-looking men and women. And then the downside was people trying to fit me into a bit of a mould and a box and constantly trying to change me. And I was just such a maverick. Such a maverick. So, yeah.
Did it feel weird being part of the corporate? I mean, it must have been quite exciting finishing university and actually getting a job first and foremost.
It was success. I was this was like the blueprint, and this was like the kind of the agenda. So it was there to, it was like this trajectory of do your GCSEs, do your A-levels, do your university, go and get a grad scheme, go and get a good job, get a nice car, get more money, go further, get more money, go further, sell your ass, basically. That's what you were doing. And it just never, ever felt quite right. I had a gut feel that I wanted to do something myself. I could never work out what it was, and it took a lot longer, I think, than probably it should have done in some respects. I mean, my factoid is I only left one job under my own steam. Everything else was a lack of volition. So basically I got binned on numerous occasions. I was usually on about a 2.5 year time frame, so I'd go through a bit of a bell curve, I think, of doing all right, people like me, and then everyone think I was a bit of a dick, and then getting sacked.
What were you doing that made people think you're a bit of a dick?
I mean, it was honestly sort of sublime to the ridiculous. I did some terrible, idiotic stuff. I did massive fart once, to be honest, in an office in front of a load of people.
Nobody gets fired for a fart, do they?
Well, it turns out...
Fired for flatulence.
It's, to be honest, frowned upon in the corporate world. I mean, for God's sake. But and then I won't name names, but one was I should have worn a blue shirt instead of a white, and I should also have creases down the arms. I wasn't fired for that, but that was in the mix. That was mentioned. Yeah. That I didn't look the part. There was a lot of chat around having a beard in the time, which, I mean, God, you would not get away with that these days. But also just like, it was a profile thing. It was saying the right thing in front of the right people, and I'd say the wrong thing in front of the right people. And not out of the fact I was just trying to be like the court jester. It was just kind of how I rolled. It just didn't fit in, basically.
So when did you realise that, actually, I'm just working in an industry that maybe I don't fit or doesn't fit me? Was there a pivotal moment where you just thought, I need to get out of this world?
Honestly, it was like a recovering crackhead, basically. I kind of exited it on numerous occasions, and it kind of felt right, and then I kept getting sucked back in. And I think the money was one thing. I think I'd also got the security piece from it, and it was well paid. I was far better paid than I am now, and I had far more money. And I had a lot stronger sneaker collection as well as a result of it. A lot nicer things. But it was. I had a few Road to Damascus style enlightenment moments. I'll give you the actual final one was sitting. And I've said this a few times, actually. It was hearing about another version of Kit Kat Chunky. And I was sat there, and somebody practically got a hard-on over the fact that it was going to be, I don't know, whatever it was, cookies and cream.
Yeah.
And I was looking and thinking, are you for fucking real, mate? I'm like, seriously, this is what like gets you hard. And I just thought, no, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
She's sapping me of the will to live. And then oddly, I got sacked about a month later.
Just on the Kit Kat Chunky, did you ever pitch the idea of the 4-fingered Kit Kat Chunky?
I did not.
Because I think, it would be the kingpin of chocolate, wouldn't it?
It'd probably fall foul to obesity laws now.
It would, yeah. You would shut the company down with a sugar tax now.
100%.
But
we
back
can do
in
a black one.
Back in the freewheeling days of the
2016
of the mid 2010s.
Yeah.
I just feel that there's a massive marketing gap there that Nestle's maybe missed a trick on, and that could have been the thing that ascended you to the top of the corporate.
I could have literally fingered my way to the top.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But I mean, I'm sure I know people there can be fed back if you so wish.
What was it like also working with a company developing pile cream? And did that play into starting a cycling brand? Because there is a synergy there.
There's definitely a synergy. They also did sanitary pads, which
Nice.
could have linked in.
Yeah.
Lube, which
Handy.
which is handy, and mouthwash. All of which can be used in the same breath.
Or at least the same night.
Yeah, 100%. So, no, to be fair, I didn't take the product learnings from there, but I definitely took the skill set. So, don't be me wrong, I learned a shitload. I've made some friends for life there. A lot of the friends for life are the ones who've exited that world, strangely enough. So it was a bit of a kind of like comradeship of wrong uns. But, yeah, it was like I said, I've had some class times with that. If I look back, and honestly, I used to treat it like it was a school trip where there were no teachers.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, it was a job. So I think that probably explains a lot.
Possibly part of the problem.
Yeah.
You went travelling to find yourself.
Yeah, I did, yes.
And when you were trotting around the globe in your harem pants listening to Jack Johnson, what is it you discovered?
Tattoos at the time, actually, weirdly, which was, that again was something, a longer term addiction. I weirdly actually did meet quite a few people out there, and I realised I wanted to do my own thing. And I did think, like, when I was out there, I've got this. I reckon I can do this. And I met one guy. I can remember he worked as a consultant for hotels, and his job was to go and test holidays. And I was just looking.
How did you get that job?
I fucking no idea, but I mean, I won it. It was excellent. He got paid big bucks to go around and go to luxury spa resorts all around the world with his family. And I was like, is this a job? It's like, yeah, this is what I do.
That's not a job, though, is
I
it?
know. It's like, you absolute shyster. So I was chatting to him, and he was just like, he had a bit of a nomadic lifestyle before everyone wanked on about digital nomads.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just thinking, I reckon I can do this. And I came back, and I actually started this with a friend of mine, and we were chatting at the time, and he already had an existing pop-up in Box Park at the time, which was a cycling kind of apparel lifestyle business. And he'd moved up to Leeds, and he thought, we can do something. And then we faffed around, and then I went away again because I was addicted to going away at that point, and I had money. And yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed. I was like the oldest swinger in town going travelling. So
how old were you when you went there?
36.
Oh right,
yeah. No, there's a lot of people like mincing around in hostels, and then there was me thinking, "Fuck that, I'm not doing that."
The Four Seasons.
Yeah, 100% testing holidays. So yeah. But it was. I wouldn't say it was one of those. That wasn't my moment of enlightenment, but it was a good time, and I enjoyed it, and I needed it as well. I wish I'd done it a lot earlier. To be fair, it just opened my eyes up a bit.
So you came back here, and you had your mate that had started a bit of a pop up. Mm-hmm. Was that Paria?
No.
So that was just another cycling brand.
Yeah, like another. It was more of a retailer really that sold really cool shit. To be fair, to do with bikes. So.
Yeah, but it wasn't his own brand. He was selling other stuff.
But you could see an opportunity. It was just we couldn't quite get it to align though together. So he had a lot of. He's got a lot of ideas, and a lot of them are ace. But to kind of get the traction on it, it was quite difficult. And then I just decided to do it on my own.
Yeah.
And I set this up, and I made loads of mistakes in hindsight. I still was doing stuff, not in the corporate world, but more of a consulting stuff to bring the cash in. So I was actually doing really well. And I think that's probably part of the challenge in some respects, because I wasn't living and breathing it.
Yeah.
I still had this kind of really big safety net. But yeah, so I came up with Paria at that point.
So people talk about having your niche in business. There couldn't have been a huge amount of cycling brands around then. Certainly do what you...
Not what we would do.
Not what you would do.
What I would say is a classic misconception when people set business up. Not a misconception, a mistake maybe. that people make is that they think they've done the market research, and I did exactly that. My market research was Google it loads, look on Instagram, which was fledgling at that point to an extent. That was in 2013. So people, and I can give you a stat on that, because when we launched, we had more followers than Land Rover at one point, which was absolutely insane. But so I did my research and didn't think there's a lot of people out there. And to be honest, I would have said there weren't really, and I still think we own a space that, I don't know whether we should be owning this space, but we own a space that no one else kind of like authentically can occupy. And that was the thinking, but there was a definite presence from some big boys at the time.
Yeah. People also talk about brand authenticity. And I guess from you describing yourself with your tattoos and your wanderlust.
Yeah.
And your peroxide hair.
I know, I'm a walking stereotype.
No, but see, that's the thing, isn't it? Is that there is being a stereotype, but then there is being authentic, and there's sort of a bit of a blurred line at times between the two. And I just wonder how much of your own personality influenced the brand when you were starting out.
Oh God, loads. I mean, it still does. It's still, a lot of it's me, and a lot of it's ideas that I come up with whilst I'm taking a dump sometimes. It's the amount of times I've been either in the shower or on the toilet when I've come up with something I really like. Push bikes, not drugs, which is actually sat behind my head here. That was a toilet moment. I can remember it. Although I had a few, and this is not kind of giving it big licks about, I love the beers, me. But if I've had a few beers, I get quite creative. My phone is full of random shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a huge part of me, and I think that's, to be fair, sometimes there's a bit of a barrier as well as a kind of plus point. I think it stops us scaling as much as we potentially could and should.
Yeah, I have a problem, Sam, in starting. What I think I'm really good at.
You're a complete finisher before you started.
what I think I'm good at is, like, I come up with ideas. I plan things, even down to logos and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's the sexy bit, yeah.
That's it. But that is the sexy bit, right?
It's the sexy bit.
And then the taking action and actually doing shit, I really struggle with. And I don't know if it's because all that stuff before is actually just procrastination, or if, I think probably more, I'm afraid of failing, so I'll get to the point of where you could do it, and then I'll never take that step, because if I take the step, I might just fail.
Yeah.
So how do you just take that step without giving a shit about what people think?
Good question, by the way.
Thank you.
And I am a kind of a bit of a JFDI thing, really. I think probably too much sometimes. I think we're sat in the result of that and where we are, which has actually now turned out all right.
Yeah.
It's been bloody hard work.
Sorry, should we, JFDI just
fucking do
flipping do it?
Yeah.
Just for fucking do it.
That's background from a corporate world, isn't it? But there is a bit of a, like, just crack on. Yeah. And I've got a crack on attitude, and I do need to analyse and stop and look around sometimes, to quote Ferris Bueller, but or paraphrase. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, what's the worst that could happen? That's where I've got to with stuff. Yeah. It's like, well, you shit your pants a lot, and I have a lot of sleepless nights, believe me, about how things could go wrong. But if you're scenario planning what's going to go wrong, in all eventuality, it'll probably go wrong. If you think about how it's going to go right and how it's going to succeed, it probably will.
Yeah.
So,
do you care about what people think, though? Do you care about if you do fail and what people? Failure is one thing, but people seeing you fail and you worrying about that is another.
I think at the stage I've got to the moment, I think that I've become Paria Sam to a lot of people. And that bothers me a bit. And that's not, I don't know if it's an ego thing. I think it's more like letting people down, especially people who are so invested, who spend money, their hard-earned cash, especially in the economy at the moment, and buy our stuff. And they've invested in the brand and they love it. We get feedback daily about how people love it. And I think, well, I can't not carry on this because people love it. So if I don't do it, what am I doing? I'm letting them down. So there's a bit of that involved. I think I have, we've had a really, really tough year this year. And I think we have let a lot of people down. It pisses me right off. And I get really angry with the people, because in some respects, it's the buck stops with us. When it's not always our fault, but the buck stops with us.
But in what way have you let people down?
We've had a lot of supply chain problems. And as one we discussed before we started doing this, and that affects the quality of what we do. People have lied to us, bullshitted us. We have learned a hell of a lot, slowly licking our wounds. It's dented our reputation in certain areas, and it's really, really I've taken a long time to build this brand, and I've sacrificed a lot personally. And then to have some douchebag just because they're lying to us, like, make me lay it down and affect what I've built, pisses me off.
Yeah.
That's kind of when I don't like the failure aspect. I think if it's stuff that's out of your control, and, you know, the economy being one thing. So we did an investment round a few years ago, and we kind of did it at a ridiculous point when the war in the Ukraine kicked off, the cost of living crisis kicked in, interest rates started rising. We thought, why not? We'll do an investment round, and we actually delivered it. The problem is, what's come out the other end of it is the landscape changed.
Yeah.
So if you'd done it in 2017, 2016, we would have absolutely killed it. You know, we would, because you could spend, I don't know what I'll do, a bungalow of money and spend some digital ads on Facebook and people will see all our shit. Now it's like, well, I could put that in, but there's a guy on TikTok doing it. Or we need to change the algorithm. The algorithm's now saying that you need to pick your nose when you put your picture out, because if you don't do that, you won't get cut through. And
Yeah.
it's just another level. God, I've answered about 18 questions in one there.
All very helpful, insightful stuff, Sam. To bring it back to the idea of you've got a very clear identity and a reputation, but you have to build that, obviously. Mm-hmm. And how do you do that? How do you find your customers, and how do you then start creating that brand identity around them? Or do you do that first and then find the customers?
I think it coexists. Right. I was going to say, heads to the nearest Wetherspoons. Look who's drinking at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. We've got, I think, we know what we stand for now, and we stick tight in our lane. We've tried doing other things, and I think I probably looked in some respects in probably the early days of what other people were doing too much, rather than doing what we do and sticking in our lane and really owning that space. And it's having something to stand for and a voice, and then almost like they will come. I think taking feedback on product development, not necessarily graphical design and look and feel, is something, and it's something we want to do more of going forward. But I think having being really clear what you stand for and not diluting it. It's interesting. I did, when I started, we were looking at a second investment round, and I pitched to a couple of people, and part of the pitch was obviously this place, and this has actually confused things for some people. It's like, well, what are you? Are you a coffee shop, a coffee brand, or are you an apparel brand? And I'm like, well, we're kind of a mixture of both. So yeah, but what are you? What are you going to do? What are you going to scale? And that's when it does actually get confusing. So, but I think what we've done when we opened this, because we wanted to succeed so much, we tried to be too many things to too many people. Actually, we started bringing it back to what it's about. So it's got the tone of voice and the look and feel and the atmosphere and the vibe of the brand, which is actually really inclusive. And I don't mean that in a kind of wanky zeitgeist way. It genuinely is like, we're kind of very welcoming. Everyone who comes in likes it, likes the vibe, and that's what the brand's always been about. It's about standing for people, getting people involved. Yeah.
And terrific tea and coffee and cakes as well.
100%. Well, that's the thing. He's like, yeah. And I've tried that with the kit, and this is the other thing, is some of the kits let us down in terms of quality, and some of our suppliers have let us down, and that's what's really annoyed me. And I've done a lot of work in the last 3 to 6 months in pivoting that, and making sure that now we have a product that we're proud of, and we're about to relaunch a lot of it, and I am happy with it.
Why would you open a cafe?
I think, honestly, you've probably put a number of different inflections on that.
Yeah.
Why would you open a cafe?
Like,
why? Why? Would you open a cafe?
What were you thinking?
You open a cafe?
But in this area, Chapel Allerton, where we are now,
I mean, there's no cafes when I came here, and now look, there's
no
a
cafes.
Starbucks, there's a Nero. I don't know if you're aware of those little startup brands. I mean, I'm nicking a phrase off the guy who did our shop for him, but he had somebody who called him the reluctant barista. And that is the title of my TED talk. Because I've ended up being a coffee shop manager, barista, fucking everything basically. And it is very, very hard work and not for the faint-hearted. So the official why and how shall I put it? I suppose the rationale of opening it was to create a hub around the brand. And I didn't want to open just another clothes shop because it's too sterile. And I think you almost cut your market in half or whatever your percentage you want to apply. And I was like, if we can create something that's like a proper community hub around the brand, then we've got a reason to exist and multiple reasons to exist. You come in for a coffee, you see socks, you see a cat, you see a thing. And you don't necessarily ride a bike, but you want to buy the stuff because you like the look of it and it's a bit of you. I suppose that was the goal, and I would think we've achieved it, but Christ, getting there has been really, really hard work. Like it's a lot. It's a hospitality business at the end of the day, and hospitality is brutal, and especially at the moment where, you're getting bashed from all sides.
Yeah, I mean, at least you didn't then add to that a retail business, which obviously is the high street is absolutely fine.
I know it is, yeah.
Not facing any competition from anywhere.
I mean, this one's paved with gold.
Yeah.
So exactly. I mean, again, that was the kind of just crack on and do it though, which I employed and deployed, and I'm really proud of what we've created and what we've. It's me and Lucy who works for me and the rest of the team who've kind of come and gone through this period. It's been, especially Lucy, because I mean, she was in here painting the walls and cleaning the toilets and doing all sorts. So she's built this just as much as I have. She doesn't always work bank holiday Mondays, but but the downside, it's a lot. It's like a 24/7 thing. You never switch off with something like this.
So with that in mind, what has been your biggest shit yourself moments? Is there one or two moments where you thought either this is a bad idea, or if this all goes tits up, I don't know how we'll recover from this?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, we've had no money in the bank twice this year,
right?
And then it's a bit when you stand back and if you read. I mean, you can read also. If you read Shoe Dog actually by Phil Knight,
read it.
Have you? And
unbelievable.
And exactly, if you look when it hits all these different points, so many people go through it. They're about to run out of money. They're in hot. Suddenly, something appears.
Yeah.
Serendipity, whatever you want to call it, and you're like, oh, hang on, let's just move me on again.
It struck me there was a moment in this. I think it was the mid 70s, and they were turning over $20 million a year, and pretty much every quarter they thought they were going to go bankrupt because the cash flow was so problematic. They were selling huge amounts, but they just couldn't get the cash through the door.
Yeah.
Well, people say that, don't they, about most businesses? Cash flow is the main issue.
Yeah, it's what it can kill it or make it, and it's so difficult to manage it. And I think it's. In fact, I alluded to it before when I said I had that kind of like corporate that consulting backdrop or security blanket. That's gone now.
Yeah.
And it's raw. You're in it. You're like, I haven't paid myself some months. I mean, I quite said to you, I was selling stuff on Vinted to get money in to kind of exist because we didn't have the money in the business. And then suddenly something will come in or something will appear. I mean, in fact, I can remember one Monday waking up and thinking, fuck this right off. I'm going to go and set fire to the shop and it can go. And I thought, for God's sake, I just need something. And somebody emailed me out of the blue and said, our suppliers let us down. Can you sort us out 300 jerseys in 2 weeks? And I went, oh, yeah. And that was like a 15, 20 grand order. And I'm like, that has just saved us.
Do you believe in some...
God?
Well, no, I mean, God, I don't know, whatever. Do you believe in the universe looking after you?
100.
It strikes me as that you would be that man.
I am like... I don't get too woo-woo about it all. But I do put it out there, and I put a lot of positive energy out there, and I think it comes back in spades. And I'm also, I'd like to think, I mean, some people probably will because they've seen me on this and think I'm a dick, but I'm like to think I'm not a dick to people. Yeah. I kind of always try and treat people as I expect to treat myself, and I feel that comes back round.
Yeah, so I'm trying to live, I think I always have, but I've sort of formalised it recently of summing my life up in the phrase, work hard, be nice. And again, that is a bit woo-woo, and people will talk about bottom line and about trying to expand the business and all that kind of thing. But if you have those two principles in place, I feel that goes a long way. Now, I don't have a pot to piss in right now, so maybe that's not...
We're on the same page, are we?
Maybe that's not necessarily proving its worth right now.
No, you don't be a cunt now, you'll be fine.
But I feel like if you do play that long-term game, if you can survive the short term, people remember that you're a decent person. And also you have to put the work in as well.
100%. And you have to be there for people, and you have to pay it forward a lot of the time. I'll always... I tell you what, though, it goes the other way in terms of, like, if you piss me off and, like, if you to exploit or try and... I don't know.
Do you hold grudges?
Oh, no, you're done.
Really? Really?
You kind of... I would have said maybe 2 strikes and you're out.
Yeah.
I'll give you an opportunity to redeem yourself. If you don't, you're done. And we've got that on a few suppliers at the moment where I'm out, I'm done. You've really, really caused me problems. You've not listened to me. But I was going to say, like, I can remember a friend of mine said to me 12 months ago, actually, we have a very much of a seasonal business. There's a point to this story. There's a seasonal business, and I would say every August and in September, I think, oh my God, we're going to go bust.
Yeah.
And to Phil Nightpoint. And he said, I can remember him saying last year, you'll be fine. You've always got through this. And about 3 months later, I was like, oh God, you were right. And then I spoke to him again in February, March, like, shit, things are in. You said this 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I literally said to him last week, do you remember that conversation we had 12 months ago? I'm there again. I was like, shit the bed. Here we go. And it does. It's just like, it's feast or famine. It's unbelievable, really.
But I think that's a common story. And I think
you don't recognise it when you're in it.
Well,
when you're at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
You know,
when you're literally waking up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And then you're on LinkedIn and you see everybody on LinkedIn who's so happy to announce the amazing new job they've got or how much money they've got and the client they've just landed. Yeah. So you start thinking, well, I'm the only one that's failing here. So why am I doing this? Maybe I should just go back to the corporate world.
Oh God, I've thought that and just give me a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm unemployable for many, many reasons, but I wouldn't be able to hit the corporate world again. Not anywhere near what I was. And I mean, I don't really want to be fair. So, I mean, I'd love to have a constant salary and a nice car.
Pension.
And a pension.
Sick pay.
Sick pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that as well. And then samples budget. But
yeah.
And obviously to be able to go and stay in the Four Seasons all over again.
Yeah.
But other than that.
Yeah, apart from that.
Yeah. But I mean, and it's funny, I'm going to allude to that actually because people often say, there's 2 or 3 different points here. People often say you set your own business up. It's great, you've got freedom. Like, you literally have none.
Yeah.
You know, you like, don't really take any holidays because you can't, because you need to be around. And if you are on holiday, you're going to get called and you're going to have to do stuff. You're never off. So you kind of fit around your business, really, at the end of the day. And then the other one is the amount of people who come in this coffee shop and go, oh, my girlfriend, I'd love to open a coffee shop. I'm like,
yeah,
fuck no. She's no chance. Like, honestly, do you want to see her again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good divorce?
Yeah. Spend your life savings.
Yeah.
You mentioned Phil Knight a couple of times.
Obviously.
Who is your business idol? Can be people around here. Can be Warren Buffett. Is there somebody that you look up to, or a brand?
Blank on that.
Or a brand, or something that you look up to?
I mean, I'm going to give you 2 examples. We use Vans, right? I use that.
Vans, as in the skateboarding.
Yeah. I use Vans,
brand.
Yeah, as a kind of Great White Buffalo of a brand to aspire to.
Yeah.
And mainly because they've got a product that is almost like ubiquitous. 2 anecdotes on it. One was my old financial controller who helped us. He's like in his late 50s, rugby player from Batley, and he would wear a Vans t-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, when's he ollieing and chucking 360s on a skateboard?
Yeah,
he's not. So he's bought into the brand, and it's like that's his way of probably being an edgelord, but. And then, as a friend of mine also said to me, he said he once saw a man with one leg wearing Vans. And he said, if you can sell a pair of shoes to a man with one leg, you've made it.
A skateboarding pair of shoes.
Yeah, skateboarding pair of shoes as well. The old one-legged skater. It's like, shit.
It's true, that, because I remember, you remember Vice magazine when it used to be in its physical format?
Yeah.
And I remember always there was some kid on the front of that doing an amazing ollie with this really grainy picture wearing a pair of beat-up Vans.
Yeah.
And then like 15 years later, you see like 55-year-old school dads wearing it.
Yeah. It's still it's
on the drop-off. And
it's the Vans effect. And I said, we need that. Because one of the reasons we started to move more into sort of off-bike stuff was because you start to open up your total addressable market and it becomes more appealing to more people.
Yeah, but do you lose your credibility with the OGs that bought into the brand when you were alternative and edgy and non-mainstream?
I think only if you start to try and cater to the people who aren't the OGs. I think if you continue, it's got to be about aspiration, hasn't it? I mean, he's bought the Vans, he's aspires to that lifestyle and that aesthetic. So you've still got your OGs there, as long as you don't. I think it's the sellout piece. It's when you become. I mean, this is classic. We've discussed this. If you're trying to, it's almost like the non-OGs are the people who give you the AI commentary on what the brand's about and try and mimic the tone of voice. And like, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
it's one where the robots are not succeeding.
Yeah, but it is amazing because a brand like Vans would be able to do a collaboration with Hello Kitty or Snoopy and Peanuts.
Yeah, and people still go for
and
it.
People are like, oh, this is so ironic. it's so edgy.
I'd
and
love
cool.
to do something like that, like
Yeah.
the drain pipe manufacturer or something like that. I mean, that's come from, but I'd love to
A
do.
local roofing firm in Paria.
Yeah. Mike's Carpets.
Oh, Mike's rest in peace,
I
Mike.
know, yeah, exactly.
Rest in peace.
Just something like that. But I suppose that's a brand as an actual kind of, God, I don't. In terms of an individual in business, I'm trying to think who that would be. I mean, I've drawn a bit of a blank here. I'm going on a bit of a blank. I always get this. I always pronounce his name, and it's actually Stussy. Sean Stussy.
What does he do?
Stussy.
Oh, as in Stutzy.
Yeah, but
I
you
thought it
don't
was Stutzy.
I think no, it's Stussy.
Stussy.
I mean, he's been that guy's got it. He's got like
How old is Stussy?
Oh,
I feel like they were around since I was a kid.
Yeah, he's been from the 80s, but he's still got credibility, and we've got a product that commands a really premium price point. He's tight on the brand. It's his design. He's not sold out.
Yeah.
You know.
But I'm fascinated by brands like that, and Stan Ray and Dickies and all that.
Yeah.
How you managed to go from a brand in the 50s that was for painters to then cool
You can't
dudes like
work-
me and you.
Yeah, I know. It was like, you know, on the school run, wearing workwear.
Yeah. I'll fix your car and drop the kids off and
also,
look cool while I do it.
Yeah, I'll be planing a big tree.
Yeah.
And then I'll be having a flat white. So
Before we wrap up, I want to ask you about how to be a success. So, obviously, you have to get up at 4 a.m. and do your affirmations and your journaling.
And you're angry wanky.
Yeah.
And you cry wanking at night.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. But what is it? What is a successful habit that anybody can do?
That anybody can do.
Yeah, well, just because all this stuff about waking up and drinking your deionized water and getting in contact with the ground and all that kind of stuff. It's very YouTube.
I've got one.
But what is a real thing that you could do that just makes you?
I think don't talk yourself down, talk yourself up.
Yeah, good one.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm massively guilty. You have if you listen to the chimp paradox or read the chimp paradox, that is something that's really spoke to me. And it's like having the chimp on your shoulder. And it's your brain protecting yourself a lot of the time, which is usually doom mongering. And it's seeing it's the fight, flight, freeze thing. And what you really need to be doing is like isolating that because it's protecting you. No, it's fine. You can do this. You've got this. You've done it before. You know what I mean? And you're still here. And I mean, you've never really failed. You're a success no matter what you've done because you're still here. So I think you've just got to talk yourself up like that. And the more you do it, the more positive things become. Yeah. Because Christ, I mean, it's hard. And no matter what you're doing, really, it's always hard. But that would be my positive, my as a habit, it'd be stop, pause, and talk yourself up. Yeah. And what has been to keep it nice and positive, what's been your biggest regret? Not doing this sooner, to be honest, and not going at it hard enough earlier in the journey, because we could have done. We were in a good position, and I think we're just a bit late. We're a bit later to the market or later to the party than I would like to be. So I think we should. We're still going to do it, and we're still going to make it. Well, so let's finish on a really positive one. The bakery's open here. So you're now a cycling brand cafe bakery. Yeah, just to make sure we really stay tight to our niche and our lane with. Yeah. And next week opening the landscape gardening business. Yeah, 100%. What is next? Where are you? What's so 12 months time? We're going to sit down and we'll do this again. Oh my God, I'll be good for that. We'll do it again in between. But what will Paria be in a year's time? I think there'll be more Parias knocking around. I think we should do another one. Oh, exciting! I know. I mean, God, I might regret saying that, but yeah, I think the scope and opportunity for us to do this again. We know what we've got. This now. We've taken all the kind of rough edges off, and I think we could probably do it again. We just need a bit of cash. Yeah. So, well, there's loads of that sloshing around. Shitloads, honestly, so, on the trees and down the back of the sofa. You'll be fine. Sam Morgan, it has been a joy as ever to talk to you. I appreciate the chat. And some lovely insights there, which I'm sure people can take away what you will. Mull over and turn into something really special. Thank you, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Appreciate that. Likewise, right back at you.